I just want to say for the record, Bray was right. Bray was right. Bray was right. And we will get to that part of this after show where Bray was right. Welcome in, everybody, to your Beyond the Gates, episode 37 after show. So let's make it do what it do, because a lot went down in this one for sure. So, Haley and Shanice, no, not Haley and Shanice. Ashley and Shanice talk about Doug. Hey, let me tell you something. If Haley walked into Grayland Hospital, I don't think she would know what a stethoscope is. She's that far behind mentally. So this, because there is no heartbeat inside her because she has no soul. So Ashley and Shanice are talking about Doug, and then we see Kirkland, who is a firefighter in the Fairmount Crest Fire Department, working alongside Derek. There was a warehouse fire, and Kirkland has a 5-month-old daughter. So Ashley is trying to soothe Derek. Jacob texted Naomi, and the ladies meet with Naomi at Uptown. So Chelsea and Kat catch up and practice a trend. Samantha is at the model house, and there Samantha says, and I quit school. Excuse me. What? And let me tell you something. Chelsea and Kat turn from homegirl cousins to, young mama bears of what the fuck is wrong with you and your whole existence telling us this. So Marin had a hard time about the proposal. This is Marin and Spade. Now, there was a phone call that Marin had about a certain proposal that Marin was trying to, pitch. And so, Spade's going to follow up on a person for his influencer story for the Washington Record. And then Tyrell comes in the house and asks both of them, what did you do? So the ladies are with Naomi, and the ladies are going to accept Bill's offer, right? Of $1 million, jobs back with bump in pay, and they will be a part of a board to, make policy, right? And, if you guys don't know, Naomi found a great lawyer. She is a fellow soror, but the ladies thought that, while Naomi's friend is a terrific lawyer and was thankful that, she did pro bono, they felt that that Naomi was the only one that could do the job. So we're back with Chelsea, Kat, and Samantha. Chelsea and Kat are mad. And then Samantha was like, I'm just kidding. I didn't drop out of school, but it was an assembly, and I'm an honor student. And, I just want to know what wilding out would feel like you guys do. And Chelsea was like, we wild out from time to time, but we always handle our responsibilities. And Kat says, wilding out does not mean that you fumble the bag. And you know what? I really loved that Chelsea and Kat both were pissed and supportive, because I fully agree. I mean, even though it may be assembly that you don't want to be at, that is still your obligation with school. And school is a whole responsibility. You can't just pick and choose when you want to be responsible for school. So very well done to Chelsea and Kat for honing that into Samantha. So Ty said that, people were saying wannabe Tyrell was babied by the congressman. Ashley and Derek talk. It was a firewall for Kirkland, so he went in, and then a firewall just popped up out the blue, and there were burns that made him go into shock. Doug McBride, Doug is Vanessa's husband, says the OR nurse is with the family now, and Derek gets a text about heart is stabilized. And then Shanice is worried about Doug because I think this is when Vanessa comes for. I think Tyrell gets very frustrated. The bullying has increased, and Tyrell says stay out of his life, which Tyrell, that was harsh. I understand you're pissed, but the, when you have parents that care, they're not going to do that. That's just not going to happen. So you asking that was just, you were really out your rabbit ass mouth for that. That was not going to happen. Then we're back with Chelsea, Kat, and Samantha. Martin is a straight arrow, has always been. As a politician, Chelsea was a little confused because she thought that Martin was with it. But then Smitty was more cool and, gave, some pointers of, look, forward like you're a picture frame of attitude. And so Kat has a good idea. She has an idea. So then, of course, like I said, we're back with Naomi and the ladies. $1 million job with Ray's a board. Being on the board is, and the lawyer was nice, but they weren't on the same page, and they want to make a addition to the agreement. They want to be in charge of creating long-standing hiring practices in the agreement. Naomi says it's a non-star, but I want to hear more. Shanice is pulling a double, right? And then this is where Vanessa comes in. So I think Shanice was worried about Doug when Ashley and Derek were there, but now in this part of the episode, Vanessa comes to Grayla Hospital because they were supposed to be going out to dinner, Vanessa and Doug. And the doctor is overhearing things. This white doctor was just listening in. And then, we're Kat, Samantha, and Chelsea. And Kat said it will take you out if you're not strategic. The Molly industry. And Samantha said that, I've always had ties back and we've always had hard times, growing up, in foster care, this, that, the third, grateful to be part of the family now, but like I can hold it. And I think it is just protection. I don't think that they're trying to reduce Samantha's feelings about this at all. I think they just want her to be in the best position for her to fly the highest that she can be. So this is where Bray was right. Bray was right. So if you all remember when Samantha, got to model the fashion show, I said, wouldn't it be the smartest thing to do to have Samantha be a model for Chelsea and Kat's purse line, right? It's in-house. They can control the hours. They can ease her into it, this, that, and the third. You guys remember I was saying that for pretty much every time Samantha came up, right? And when I was watching it, I'm like, oh my God. Like, listen, I don't know if the writers listen to us or not, okay? But I am going to claim the victory on this one. I'm going to claim the Bray victory on this one. That's Bray and victory in the same, two words combined, Bray and victory, or Braylon and victory. Yes, the producers and the writers were listening to Braylon Lee and his reviews on Braylon Lee's virtual tour YouTube channel, because I have been saying that for a long time, because I was like, wait a minute, okay, well, she can't fly around the world. First of all, Samantha did a great job at the fashion show. Chelsea, Samantha wanted Chelsea to be her manager. And so, Chelsea really doesn't want to do that responsibility because Chelsea is pursuing her new dream, right? Or evolving in her purpose, rather. And, Kat, she's the business mind, right? So I think Kat is just that supportive homegirl. But also, too, Kat Cat is able to take an inch and make it a mile, which is one of my biggest business principles that I utilize for myself. So when this happened, I'm like, oh my God, the producers and the writers listening right the whole time. And y'all, I was so giddy. So this is what was said. This is what was said. Samantha can be a featured model. She can do behind the scenes content, and then she can move over to campaign shoots. Then Samantha can be featured in Chelsea's stories, follow her journey. When the activewear line comes out, she could be a spokesmodel. And I really love the fact that, you know, Cat came over with a solution where it is so in-house, it is so family owned, and it's so foolproof that Martin can't say no. If he says no, now Martin's being the asshole, right? So well done to Cat and Chelsea, yes, and well done to CBSP and GStudios and NAACP and the producers and the writers and the team for listening to my reviews. I'm going to claim it. I cannot prove that they listen, but damn it, I've been saying that Samantha needs to be the model for Chelsea and Cat's new company. I've been saying that every single time we have talked about Samantha. So I'm so glad that happened there. Yes, indeed. So now we're back with Naomi and the ladies. Basically everyday operations into the firm, and folded into the review board. And Naomi says, I will set it up for you, but consider this my parting gift. And then, there is a panic attack, I think. Then there is, oh, yes. I'm trying to think where the panic attack came in. I wrote down panic attack for a reason, y'all. But with that being said, oh no, Tyrell had a panic attack because there was a young lady that came into Orphe Jeans. So this girl that comes in is sitting next to Tyrell, and she came to apologize to Tyrell and broke up with Jay. So the boyfriend name is Jay. I mean, we heard that earlier, but we didn't know who this girl was. So I was very happy with this episode, and we'll get into why towards the end. So Smitty tried to find Tyrell in the park, and Smitty, being the cooler, level head, and understanding parent of let him breathe. Martin wants to transfer schools, and Smitty is in charge. Smitty says Tyrell's in charge of whatever he wants to do. And so, Jessica talks about, you really seem to be a master at online chess rather. And I see that you look focused. And that we learned that Tyrell is a FIDE candidate master, so that means he's internationally known. And so, there's a lot of pressure that comes with that. Jessica really wanted to learn, but none of her friends were in it. And by the way, Jessica did try to get them to stop sending the photo. And so shout out to Jessica for being a real one, right? Because sometimes as a man, as a young man, you don't always get that, right? In your high school experience, that the person that was at the center of it actually comes to apologize to you. And Jessica says, I really admire you. And then we get Vanessa and Doug talking. Naomi tried to call Bill, but the calls are not going through. Ashley and Derek talk to Naomi, and Ashley says, if you need me, I'm here. And then Bill shows up for a in-person meeting. Okay, then. All right, Bill, look at you trying to be progressive, but you are still a bastard to waste. Okay, all right. So then Naomi talks about the writer, and Bill says, I'm not going to give any more than I've already given. And Naomi says, well, she just won against a top Hollywood producer for a sexual harassment lawsuit. And if she wins against you, that will really give her a really good reputation. And, Derek said, if I know one thing about Naomi is that she is a fighter. And Derek says, you're always concerned about others all the time. And, Ashley says, same for you. And then Kirkland is good. So praise God for Kirkland, the firefighter being okay. And then, Bill gets notification about that win. And Naomi says, did you think I was blowing smoke about, that my soror? And Bill was like, I think it crossed my mind. I'm like, oh, so wait a minute. So Bill Hamilton recognizes he can be an asshole, a dumb asshole at that. Wow. I'm shocked. I'm flabbergasted. I have no words. So then Bill agrees and set up the paperwork and will send it over. There it is. Then we're back with Jessica and Tyrell. Jessica says she will be under the covers for a long time, and Ty was like, that's a little much. And then Jessica did this really cute remix of a quote. She said, the world is a stage and we're all pawns in it. And so Tyrell was like, wait, did you combine Shakespeare and chess? That was really smooth. And so then let me see here, just to make sure. So then, so then Jessica says, I'll see you around. And then Tyrell, Tyrell is happy. I remember one young woman that I was talking to, and we talked over at my place for 2 hours. And I said at the end of that conversation, Ty is a very happy man. Okay, listen. So then Shanice is worried about Doug, and Vanessa's worried too. And Doug got a little upset, like, oh, so a nurse, dictates my schedule. And it wasn't so much dictating your schedule, but like, Doug, your problem, right? You are a gambler. Okay. And you have a problem. Child, listen. So Doug wants to tell the truth, but can't because there is there's a call that comes in, but we'll get to that here in just a little bit. The committee wants to do an emergency meeting with Martin, which is good. So then Vanessa feels like, there's all these tricks of real estate of opening up the curtains to bring natural sunlight in and to bake cookies to create a sense of a home. And Vanessa feels like that they have a shell. And Doug is making Vanessa feel secure of. Doug is not having an affair. And Doug also clocks Vanessa and says, I'm sure you have your selection of men. And Vanessa was like, I'm not sure what you're talking about. You know what he's talking about, Vanessa. Good damn. Jesus. Just stop the cap. So then Samantha is giving input into the bags. And then Tyrell comes home and says he's not going anywhere. And the parents are wondering, like, what's going on? There's a girl named Jessica that could be named Jessica Dupree. I mean, of course, Tyrell and Jessica are very young, so we got to let them have the love, grace, and space to blossom into what they want to be. Y'all, that's the end of your Beyond the Gates episode 37 after show. Like I said, I am really happy for Tyrell that he got justice, right? So the fact that Martin did what he did, even though, it did backfire just a little bit, actually worked out in his favor and looked like Jessica was really into Tyrell. So I'm it's nice to see television, even though this is fictional, where there can be wins on television, right? So very excited about that. Very excited about Samantha becoming a in-house model and in-house talent. So yay. Like I said, I was predicting that this whole time, and I was like, y'all, it is right there. There is no way they are not going to make that the storytelling mechanic to help Samantha be able to, make her dream come true, but also satisfy her parents. So, like, yay! Thank you to the writers, the team, and everybody at Beyond the Gates, G Studios, NAACP, and CBS for listening to my reviews and doing what I suggested. Yes, I'm claiming the win. I'm claiming the win. And then Vanessa, Vanessa, y'all are in crosshairs with Joey Armstrong, and I got feelings going to end bad for both of y'all. I mean, the life that both of you are living is on the verge of being non-existent, and y'all don't even realize it. You don't. I want to see more of Shanice. I want to see who her family and friends are. I want to see who she's dating, right? I definitely want to see that. I want to see the thickie in the maternity ward. Okay, definitely want to see that because, Jacob, gave that suggestion, so definitely want to see that. I feel like there's more characters to come because they've got like an ensemble cast, but then they have like different guest stars. I think there's a new guest star that's supposed to be watching Marin and Vernon. He's a white actor. I can't remember his name, but he's supposed to be coming in May. But yeah, I really, really liked this. And like I said, I love how they balance out humanity and drama in the show. And it's not an easy balance, especially when talking about our culture, right? So that is it for your Beyond the Gates episode 37 after show. One love, much love, all love. I feel the love and send it right back to you. Bye, everybody.